Hi everyone, welcome to this video where I'll be talking about grade 8 maths fractions of amounts. Let's jump straight into it. So fractions of amounts are when you get a question such as this one. So 3/4 of 120, that would be the kind of question you get. So work out 3/4 of 120. It looks scary because it's got this of, but the key thing is of just means times. So whenever you see an of, you can just change that into multiply. So then this is pretty easy to put into your calculator or to just work out. And the method that you need to remember for these fractions of amounts is always, you write this big number first, so 120, you write that first. Then you divide it by the bottom number, so divide it by 4. And you times it by the top number, and that will give you your answer. So you times it by that top number. So in this case, 120 divided by 4. So 120 divided by 4, or 12 divided by 4 is 3. So that's 30. Times by 3, which would give us 90 then. So that is your answer for that one. So 120 divided by 4 times by 3 gives you 90. You always check your answer makes sense. Because it is a fraction of that 120, your answer should always be less than that 120. So it should be less than the big number, which in this case it is. We're going to go through a few examples here so you can get a feel for it, get the hang of it. As always, please feel free to let me know in the comments if you have any questions. Okay, so find 2/5 of 150. We always can just rewrite it as 2/5 times 150. So if it is a calculator paper, that's really easy to put that into your calculator then. We have a scientific calculator. If you do not, then you need to remember this method. So how we rewrite it is we always say the big number, so 150, divided by the bottom number. So divided by 5, and then multiplied by the top number. So times 2. So you need to remember that method. That needs to come straight away that you can do that. Now we just got to do the working out. So for this first part, 150 divided by 5. Let's work that out, assuming we don't have a calculator. Okay, so we can draw our little garage. 150 divided by 5. So how many times does 5 go into 1? It doesn't go in there, so 0. How many times does 5 go into 15? It goes in 5, 10, 15. So it goes in 3 times. How many times does 5 go into 0? It does not go in there. So our answer to this part is 30. 150 divided by 5 is 30. And then we just have to do this next part, which is times it by 2. 30 times 2 is 60. And there we go. That is as simple as it is. We can check. Our final answer is 60, which is less than this total of 150. So it looks like it is right. So we can put our answer here. 2/5 of 150 is 60. Let's look at another one. Find 3/8 of 240. Okay, we're going to get straight into this one. So we're going to say the big number, 240, divided by the bottom number, which is 8, times by the top number, which is 3. Okay, again, we can do our garage. So let's get it here. 240 divided by 8. How many times does 8 go into 2? It doesn't. How many times does 8 go into 24? So it's 8, 16, 24. So it goes in there 3 times. How many times does 8 go into 0? 0 times. Okay, so for that part, 240 divided by 8 gives us 30. And then we have to times it by 3. 30 times 3, or 3 times 3 is 9, and we add a 0, so 90. And that is our answer. Just be careful with this one because it is in rands. They want the answer in rands too. So that would be a mark just for putting the right unit there. So our answer here is 90 rand. Okay, and then one final one, a bit of a word problem, but no different, no more difficult than what we've done. So a tank holds 90 liters. If 2/3 of it is full, how many liters of water are in the tank? What we are working out, and what will be your first marker, is to write down 2/3 of 90 liters. So if you can write that down, usually you get a mark just for knowing that's what they're asking you. Then remember, we rewrite this as 90 divided by the bottom number, so divided by 3, times by the top number. Usually you get a mark for being able to do that too, even if we don't have the answer yet. Let's then work this out. So 90 divided by 3 is 30. And 30 times 2 is 60. And then just remembering again, this one is in liters, so our answer is 60 liters. And that is all we can do for fractions of amounts for today. If you have any questions, please feel free to let me know, and thank you for watching.